this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight, and you.
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line. You didn't have to do that.
You're purposely antagonizing people on campus, asking
How?
people to come up by spreading your weird agenda.
How? What agenda is that? I'm confused, though.
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a registered
so
voter.
I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Than a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you could see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris, because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing wrong with talking to voters.
Well, that's what we're doing here today. It's an open mic.
I think that you push a dangerous agenda.
Such as?
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Here we go. Okay, so
let me ask a question. What is your name?
Jean.
Jean. And what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
Well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do understand that,
and we're talking about a
yes.
presidential election as the important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yes.
Great. So, again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content? Because you could criticize style or why you're talking to people or dunk on someone personally, but where do you actually disagree with the substance?
With the way that you edit content and specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you. The way that you edit your content.
we post unedited content.
Let me just ask you one thing, though, because personal insults can fly in all directions. Where is an area where you have a disagreement with the conservative movement, with Donald Trump, with Charlie Kirk, perhaps with myself? I was a presidential candidate last year. I think we need to talk about that more in the open, and the more we do, the stronger our country is going to be. We got a long line of people, but I want to hear from you one substantive area where you have an authentic disagreement, and I'd be glad to address it. I'm sure Charlie would too.
Just in anything.
Political. Relating to any political topic where you have a disagreement. Let's air it.
Okay. I disagree with some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress that are against the LGBTQ community and the trans community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to give you my view, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
My view is that if you're a fully grown adult, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want, dress how you want, marry who you want if you want, if you're over the age of 18.
I agree.
But you are not free to indoctrinate children in schools who are not yet of the age of consent. You are not free, just as you're a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old can't get a tattoo on their own, I don't think that you should be able to go or until the age of 18. And so the lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition. You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language. And you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who are under the age of 5 in schools. Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
Look, we got a head start in the conversation. We got a long line behind you. But my only ask is, forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on. But he intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you. And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. But this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight and you...
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line. You didn't have to do that.
You're purposely antagonizing people on campus, asking
How?
people to come up by spreading your weird agenda.
How? What agenda is that? I'm confused, though.
So, Charlie, I'll say this. We'll end on this and we'll go to the next question. When I was 18, and I'm not going to blame you for this, I also took for granted a lot of the stuff that the media force-fed me, because that's what you know at the age of 18. You say there are some vague laws making their way through Congress that are hostile to trans community.
Know how?
I don't think those laws actually
about,
exist, but I don't blame you if that's
to me.
what the cable media is feeding you. But let's get to the specifics, and then we're able to actually have an open dialogue. And that's one of the things I've learned over the last 20 years.
I think that the issue is we're getting our media from different
country.
sources. Both people are getting media from these skewed sources. The facts that you're presenting are not always correct.
And that's why we're here with no TV screens between us. So people who have policy-based substantive disagreements, we invite those. I think that's how we're going to get our country back. And as it relates to trans, which you brought up, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want. You're not free to force that onto somebody else, or especially kids. And if we agree on that, we make some progress.
Thank you.
제가 미국의 이런 문화를 참 좋아하는데요. 반대 의견에 대해 피하지 않고 정면으로 맞서서 대면한다는 거죠. 지금 미국에서 벌어지고 있는 이 싸움들은 가치와 가치의 싸움입니다. 하나의 가치를 지키고 수호하려는 자와 그 반대부에 있는 자들의 싸움인 거죠. 인터뷰에서도 계속 나오는데 우리가 대화를 통해서 서로가 서로의 의견이 맞지 않더라도 대화를 할 때 우리에겐 진전이 있고 우리나라는 더욱더 강해질 수 있다라고 이야기하는 부분이 굉장히 멋있고 또 부럽기도 합니다. 사실 살아온 환경이 다르고 생각하는 방법도 한 사람 한 사람마다 전부 다를 텐데 똑같을 수는 없겠죠. 자신이 지향하는 바와 추구하는 것과 이루고자 하는 모든 것이 같을 수가 없습니다. 그렇기에 민주사회라고 하면 필연적으로 다른 생각을 가진 이들이 서로 함께 모여 더 나은 사회로 나아가기 위해 대화를 하는 이런 공론의 장이 필요합니다. 이런 대화를 하는 자리가 없다면 만약 서로의 생각이 너무 다르기 때문에 난 쟤랑 대화조차 하기가 싫어 라고 해버린다면 그 순간부터 허물어질 수 없는 하나의 장벽이 생기는 거거든요. 그러니까 서로를 적대시해버리는 현상이 나타나는 거죠. 미국도 그렇고 우리나라도 그렇지만 자신과 생각이 다른 이들의 생각에 대해 들어보려고 하는 것조차 하지 않는 사람들이 정말 많아졌어요. 자신이 무조건 옳다라고 생각하는 거죠. 그러나 정말 우리가 생각하는 그 가치가 정말 옳은 것일까요? 네, 맞습니다. 저 또한 제가 믿는 바가 옳고 그 방향으로 우리가 모두 노력해서 만들어가야 한다고 생각하고 있습니다. 그러나 그렇다고 해서 나와 가치관이 다른 이들의 생각을 들어보려고 하지 않는다면 또 대화의 장을 막아버린다면 그곳에 제대로 된 진전은 없을 겁니다. 미국의 보수주의자들을 좋아하는 이유 중 하나도 이런 자리를 두려워하지 않습니다. 자신이 옳다고 믿는 사상에 대해 공개적으로 그리고 반대 의견을 가진 이들 앞에서 주장하는 것을 주저하지 않습니다. 이건 위험한 사상을 퍼뜨리는 일이 아니죠. 오히려 나라와 국민들을 더욱더 강하게 만들 수 있는 하나의 도구라고 할 수 있습니다. 이들이 이렇게 자신있게 말할 수 있는 이유는 사회 문제에 대해, 나라에 대해, 그리고 인간이란 존재에 대해 그만큼 공부하고 고민하고 또 배우면서 자신의 사상을 만들어갔기 때문이라고 할 수 있겠는데요. 그렇게 미디어에서 말하는 파편적인 생각과 사상들을 주워들은 대학생들은 그 선동에 세뇌당한 채 애매모호한 답변들밖에 늘어놓을 수 없는 것이죠. 네, 앞으로도 미국 보수주의자들의 영상을 많이 번역해서 올리고자 합니다. 가치를 잃어버린 시대, 가치가 사라지고 있는 이 시대에 진정한 보수주의의 가치를 만들어가는 우리가 되길 바라겠고요. 좋아요, 구독 눌러주시면 감사하겠습니다.